In this video, we're going to talk about the big F word, which is fear, or some people call it false evidence appearing real. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Money Markets and Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, stock market coach and option trader, Jason Brown. And if you can't tell, I am under the weather, but nothing is going to stop me from putting this episode out. Not after we just wrapped up our 100th episode. So if you haven't checked out our 100th episode, be sure go back, check that one out where we recapped some of the top episodes over the past years. But what I want to talk to you about today is fear. And specifically the fear around learning something new. And if we go a step further, the specific fear around learning the stock market. And if we go a step further, the specific fear around placing your first trade and worrying about if you're going to lose money and different things like that. And we had someone message us, I don't know if it was a message or email, and they said, I'm fearful that if I purchase the course and or I invest in the education and I don't put it to work, that I'm going to waste my money. And it just really had me thinking, like, what most people are afraid of is actually, I don't want to say nonsense, but I don't think they're getting to the core issue of what they're afraid of, or I don't think they understand what they really should be afraid of. So let me give you an example. I'll tell you my story. When I first started trading in the stock market, many of you maybe have heard this before, but I was not scared of losing money when I first started investing. I was afraid of, if I didn't do this, what type of lifestyle would I live? Because I didn't like where I worked. I didn't really like school that much, even though I went on and finished and got my degree. I wasn't really into school. I wasn't good with my hands, so I wasn't into the trades or mechanics or anything like that. And so for me, I was like, wow, this is one of the only fields that it doesn't matter my race, my skin color, my, what I could do with my hands. Like, I could just learn this, which was an even playing field for me. It's like, oh, I just got to learn how it works, and then I can make it work for me. And so I wasn't afraid of losing money. I was afraid of the lifestyle that I would have if I didn't do this. So when you think about what we're afraid of when it comes to losing money, I want you to think about money like this. Money is the result from providing value. That's it. Money is a result, a currency that you receive as a result, typically of providing value. So you go to work, you provide value to your employer, they click a button, you get direct deposit, you get paid at the end of a week or 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. If you look at the stock market, money is the result of providing value or learning a valuable skill, if we were to reverse it around a little bit. So if we learned a valuable skill, how to read a chart, how to determine the best time to buy, how to determine the best time to sell, and we execute that, and assuming everything goes right, the result is that, the trading account or the IRA account or whatever type of account you're investing in has grown, has increased. So if that's the case, if money is just the result of either A, you providing value in a W-2 or 1099 work type environment, or it's the result of you learning a valuable skill, then would it make more sense to be afraid of being a person that does not know how to provide value? Wouldn't it make sense to be more afraid of not learning a valuable skill, since money is just the result of those two? And so in my head, I'm afraid of not being a person of value. I get excited to know that I can teach people, help people, and bring value to their lives, because the moment I stop bringing value, they don't want to transact with me anymore. And they shouldn't, because they're saying, hey, you don't bring value. But if I can help you make a little bit more or lose less than you would have done by doing this yourself, or find one extra trade that you wouldn't have found on your own, or teach you one extra strategy that protected your account, then I have provided value. And so what I am afraid of, or what a person should be afraid of, is number one, not providing value. Number two, not learning a valuable skill. But number three, and this one most people don't think about, you should be afraid of losing the things that help you provide value. For example, my eyes to read charts is what I fear losing. And so I'm very protective of my eyes. Like, I do not want to go blind. I don't want someone to throw something in my eyes at a pool party and it burns my, like, I am very protective of my eyes because I wonder what would happen if I can't read a stock chart. And so my eyes are one of the tools that help me provide value. And as that tool helps me provide value, then I can always make money. So therefore, I don't need to be afraid of losing money because I am valuable to the marketplace. And I also know a valuable skill to where the marketplace can reward me. So I want you really thinking about that. I am fearful of losing my hands, chopping off a finger, and I can't type on the keyboard and pull up a stock symbol. Now, if that ever happened, I probably would switch over to voice command or something. I'd be put a pen in my mouth and I guess I would figure it out. And there's probably all kind of contraptions. Not trying to be funny to anyone who's lost a limb. I'm just saying, I guess even if I lost my hands, there would be ways to use my toes, my feet to still click on the keyboard. But if I lost my eyes, that's hard to replace. Someone would have to call out what they're seeing on the chart, and they would have to call it out in the way that I believe it should be called out, or they would have to understand it how I teach it, which could be very difficult to do. And so when you think about being afraid, when you think about being fearful, I want you to break things down and really ask yourself, what are you really afraid of? Are you afraid of spending money for a course, a program, a coach? But why? Because when I first bought my first program, you know what I said? My first program I bought was, I think it was $4,400. And quick little story. When I bought the program, I went to like a seminar in a hotel, and they had like a special, like if you, two people do it together, it's like 50% off or something like that, 2,000 off. And so I partnered with a guy like, hey, you want to go in on this together? And I kid you not, the company said, well, even if you partner with someone, you only get one set of DVDs. So it's most likely designed for like a family member or like a husband-wife team. They assume, you know, you guys are going to share the DVDs. And I'll never forget, when me and this guy was going to partner, we both could save $2,000. I'll never forget this. This guy was like, well, who get to keep the DVDs? I'm like, well, you could keep them. I just need you to send me a copy then. He's like, well, I don't know how to copy them. I'm like, well, then let me keep the DVDs and I'll burn them and send you a copy. This is back when you would burn the DVD or something. And he said, well, what happens if we leave here and you don't burn me a copy? And I thought, bro, really? Like, we trying to both save like $2,000 and you worried about if I don't burn you a copy of the DVDs? I'll never forget this because he actually backed out. And I was left with a decision. Do I pay $4,400 for this program that I was just initially looking to pay $2,200 for? And then I was faced with, what if this doesn't work? And I took a hold of that fear. And you know what I did? I said, what if it does work? What if this was just my test to see how bad I want it, to see if I would pay full price? And then I asked myself, so Jason Brown, do you like your current financial life? The answer was no. Do you like the trajectory it's on with your earning potential? I said no. And I said, okay, so if you don't do this, what does life look like? What if you don't do this? What does life look like? You don't like the trajectory. You don't like the earning potential you got. At that time, I don't know, 20-something-year-old kid. I'm not bringing much value to the world. I'm selling cell phones at Verizon or Sprint at that time in my life. And so I feared not getting started. I feared what would happen if I didn't take that leap of faith. I feared what would happen if I let an extra $2,000 stop me from making millions. If I said, I'm gonna make millions someday, but only if it doesn't cost $4,400. I'll make millions someday, only if it costs $2,200. You see how silly that sounds? I would be afraid of that mindset. If you got that mindset, I'm gonna be a millionaire someday. Great. What do you need to become a millionaire? I need that information over there. Okay. That information costs $4,400 in my case, and I could have got it for $2,200, but then I had to go back up to $4,400. So you're going to be a millionaire. Yes. You need what to get there? That information. Okay. It's $4,400. You're like, nah, that's too much to become a millionaire. That's too much. That's too much. It's too much risk. So let me get this straight. You have the potential to earn $999,990. I don't know what the math is. Like, you got the chance to earn, 999,000 extra dollars minus the change, and you're not willing to spend $2,000 to $4,000. I was afraid of being in that broke and poor mindset and that being my lifestyle from here on out and buying into what everybody else subscribed to. Oh, that's for other people. Oh, that don't work for people like us. And so it's very simple. The message I want to bring you in this episode, guys. What are you really afraid of? You need to ask yourself that. And then you need to take a piece of paper, write your dreams on one side. Actually divide it into 3. Write your dreams on one side. Write what you need to achieve those dreams in the middle. And then in the 3rd column, I want you to write the price that you're going to have to pay to get there. Is it time? Is it money? Is it some late nights away from your kids, your family, your wife, your husband, your loved ones? Is it some early mornings where you can't sleep in on Saturday? What are you willing to pay, whether it's in time, money, effort, learning, to achieve your goals? Because the goals are simple. The tools you need to get there, you most likely know what you need. You want to invest, you need a computer, you need a brokerage account, you need to learn how to do it. Maybe you need a coach, maybe you need a course, maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to watch free YouTube videos. That's going to cost you in terms of time, right? Going through free YouTube videos, trying to vet each coach, trying to vet their methodology, trying to learn it on your own. That's going to cost you something. Don't think because it's free, it's free. It's going to cost you something in the form of time, delayed results. Point is, you're going to have to pay something, okay? And as you write your goals down, as you write the tools down you're going to need to get it done, and you write the costs, I want you to ask yourself, is the fear of paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever it is that fear going to stop you from those goals you wrote down? Is the fear of losing a couple Saturdays that you couldn't sleep in because you got to wake up and study, is the fear of waking up on Saturdays going to stop you from achieving those goals, stop you from paying the price to achieve those goals? I don't know the answer for you, but I can tell you that I cannot imagine what my life would be like if I didn't overcome the fear, number 1. And number 2, if I didn't pay the price, both financially and both with my time. I cannot imagine what my life would look like. In fact, I most likely know what it'll look like. It'll look like most people I know. And they are good people. Nothing wrong with the people I know. But I'm talking about some of the people I know that's still at Verizon. Some of the people I know that's still at Comcast, or they got let go from Comcast. Some of the people I know that's still working a job, complaining and hating it every single day. Not the people that love their job. I'm talking about what my life would have been like. And so I'm encouraging you to face the fear and do it anyway. I'm signing off saying, remember, you never go broke, taking a profit. I'll see you on the next episode.